Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. I am the owner of NoDQ, Aaron Rift, here to answer questions about wrestling, so let's get right down to it. Hey Aaron, love the show. In your opinion, who would be the best guy to go into TNA and fix their problems, if there was such a guy? I would have to go with Paul Heyman, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not really sure that there's just one guy that can fix TNA's problems. If you were going to fix TNA, you would need a complete revamp. You would need to fire a bunch of people. You need to hire new people. Basically, you would need to go in an entire new creative direction of where you're going to go with the product. So perhaps Paul Heyman could be the guy to be the captain of the ship and be responsible for firing some of the guys and hiring some new people. But yeah, it's definitely going to take more than one guy, in my opinion, to fix TNA. Do you think it's a good or bad idea to have Rock wrestle before Mania? I know some people will say it will take away from the match with him and Cena, but I think it gives him the opportunity to work off ring rust and make sure he has a great match then. I agree. I have no problem with The Rock competing at Survivor Series. I think more Rock is better than no Rock, so I'm just happy that he's around. I think him being around is good for WWE business, and he's exciting to watch, so the more of him, the better. And I don't think it'll, like I said before, I don't think it'll take too much away from WrestleMania, maybe a little bit, but I think it's going to do a lot more to help Survivor Series, and I think that's what's important in the long run. Try to get the most out of The Rock. Get him in there as many pay-per-views as possible, because I do think that he means more than just one show. I think he'll make more of a difference being around as much as possible. Hey Aaron, CM Punk has been pinned 3 pay-per-views in a row. First at Night of Champions, then at Hell in a Cell, and now at Vengeance. What are your thoughts? Will he get a push soon or not? Well, he's got the main event at Survivor Series against Alberto Del Rio, one of the main events. He's in the WWE title match, so his push hasn't ended. It's just his character just kind of has gone flat and stale again. I mean, he was really hot for that period in July and August, but he cooled off significantly, and now he's just another guy, basically. But his push hasn't really ended. He's still one of the top guys on Raw. I'd say he's the number 2 babyface behind John Cena. So, and that's probably as far as he's going to go for the time being, to be honest with you. Hey, Aaron, do you think The Rock will be part of the tribute to the troops this year? Not really sure about that. I think if WWE wanted him to be part of it, he would try to fit it into a schedule, but I think that depends on how busy he is. I think it's definitely more of a possibility since WWE is doing it in the United States now, and they're not traveling into Iraq or whatever. But we'll just have to see on that. I'm not really sure. Hey Aaron, what do you think about John Cena's new attire? It looks very heelish to me. Your thoughts? Not really. I mean, it's camouflage, so it's kind of, goes with his whole army, his whole, Marine John Cena gimmick, whatever he does. I don't know. Doesn't seem heelish to me at all. Not really sure what something heelish would be. Oh, I don't know. I'm not even sure what would be heelish for John Cena at this point, as in terms of look. Maybe tights. I don't know. Hey Aaron, you normally don't answer indie wrestling questions, so here's one. Who are some of your favorite indie wrestlers? Well, I get asked about Ring of Honor all the time, and here's the situation. NoDQ.com is a mainstream wrestling site, and I actually don't follow Ring of Honor all that much, so I'm not really up to speed on what's going on with them. I'm actually more familiar with PWG out here in Southern California, so, I really like El Generico, I like Kevin Steen, I like Human Tornado. I think he retired, but he was really entertaining, and Brawling Bo Cooper, I'm sure most of you don't know who he is, but he's very entertaining and very hard worker here in SoCal. So those are some of my favorites, and yeah, like I said, not really all that up to speed on indie wrestling in general, but I am familiar with PWG and some of the local SoCal wrestling promotions. Where do you see Mark Henry's career going in the next year or so? I see this as being his only major world title run, so could you see him as an Intercontinental or Tag Team Champion, or maybe he'll end up in some random feuds? Yeah, I think he's pretty much going to go in the same kind of direction as Kane. Remember last year, Kane was being pushed like this huge monster, and then when it was over, Kane was just right back to where he was before in the mid-card. I expect the same thing to happen with Mark Henry once his push is over. He'll just be back to being, just a solid mid-card act on Raw or SmackDown. That's what I see happening with him. Out of Hulk Hogan, Russo, and Bischoff, who would you keep? Personally, I'd keep Bischoff because he plays a heel authority so well. Yeah, of the three, I would keep Bischoff if you're just going to have him as an on-screen character and nothing more. Other than that, I really think you need to change out all three guys at this point just because I think they've done all they're going to be able to do in TNA. And as long as they're around, TNA's just going to be running on a treadmill. 1.1 ratings, 1,000 to 2,000 people house shows, 8,000 to 15,000 pay-per-view buys. It's just they're going to be in the same spot they've been in for the last 5 or 6 years unless they get some new people in there and take it in a different direction. What did you think of the McMahon-Helmsley era? I personally really like it due to it being different from what we would normally see. Plus, Triple H and Stephanie have really good chemistry. Yeah, I was a fan of the McMahon-Helmsley era. I thought it was really effective with Triple H in storyline, getting with Stephanie McMahon and them actually forming a faction together. Yeah, it was a very entertaining period in WWE when they were feuding with The Rock and all that. So, yeah, I was a big fan. Why were there so many WWE title changes in 2002? Triple H, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, Rock, and so forth all won a WWE title that year. I think it's pretty much the same reason that there's been so many title changes now. It's just that WWE really lacks in the long-term planning department, and they change the titles because, they think something's too predictable, and then, it might leak out on the internet, so they want to change it. And, guys get hurt. There's a number of different reasons why the titles change hands so much. All right, that about does it for NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. Thanks for watching, as usual. Check out the videos at youtube.com/NoDQCAW. I'm going to have a poll up on NoDQ.com regarding the future of NoDQ&A videos, so check that out, and we'll see you next time.